viewers, thanks for joining. Thanks for jumping in here. We're hanging out at Manhattan Beach here. This is the ocean, a shot of the coastline. What's up, JD? I know you've been waiting all day to jump in on this scope here. And now we're here, Jacob. Awesome Possum Jr., welcome. Yo! What's up, guys? Hi, Ali. Thanks for coming in. We're walking around. Hey, what did it say, Saturday? Hey, what's up, guys? Meet Devon. Everyone say, what's up, Devon?
How's it going, guys?
All right, so today is Keebs. Look, Alex Hines.
No way.
Yeah, man. Hey, shouldn't you be teaching right now? Koning, oh man.
Oh, snap.
Ethan Swiderski. Beetle Percussion in the house.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
Bradley, thanks for jumping in, guys. Matt, how you doing? What's up, Keebs? Hey, what's up? Pan1434, Adam Perry, Peter Percussion.
People.
Thank you for sharing, Beetle. Yeah, so guys, as we're coming in, if you wouldn't mind swiping right and hitting share, you can broadcast this out to your friends, your followers on Twitter. Thank you very much, Beetle Percussion. Thank you, guys. Let me give you a shout. So we're walking out here. We're hanging out in Manhattan Beach. We just finished having some lunch. And I got to show you guys this view that we're looking at right now. I'm going to flip it around. Check this out, guys. It's a beautiful Saturday. Thank you for those hearts, those of you who are tapping. We're going to walk around this little roundabout area in just a second. But here's the coastline. It's Manhattan Beach. This is Devon's first time hanging out in Manhattan. He's been working too hard lately.
Yep. There we go.
Yep. My fingers are wet at the moment, so the phone's not responding.
We both got icy, so
Icy buddies!
living a life.
When was the last time you guys saw a real-life icy machine? We were just talking about how the last time we saw slushy machines were like, especially like 7-Eleven, or you said at the movie theater. Yeah. Thanks for inviting people, Ali. Appreciate it. So, hey guys, this is Devon's first Periscope.
That is correct.
He caught a Periscope in passing through Remo. What was the story behind that?
So we were at the Cotton Bowl down in Texas for Michigan State University Drumline in Remo. Shout out to Remo. They came out and checked out our field, our lot, and everything like that. It's a pretty cool Periscope. This is the first time I'd ever seen it.
So this is his first like personal up live Periscope, and the way this works is so you've got people who are coming in the room over here, all right?
Yep.
And the replay is backwards, so I have to point to this backwards. But so people are coming over here, and then over here we've got hearts that are floating up. Thank you, those of you guys who are tapping right now and filling those hearts up. We need to show a little bit more love for Devon here. I mean,
That's right.
Confirmed, yes. If you saw the title, I mean, we're gonna sit down and have a little chat with Devon today. Yesterday, if you can catch the replay of my Q&A that I did yesterday, but I hinted as like, well, hey, I'm meeting Devon for lunch in Manhattan Beach. What's up, Andre? Thanks for coming in. A lot of the people that I've been talking to recently are into the WGI, DCI thing. You don't need any more love, DKK. Keeps. Where is Devon from? We're going to get into all that, Ali, in just a second. You're going to hear the whole life story of Devon, who is the Devon Koning, and what he's doing out here. So the title alludes to it, right? Obviously, we've got Glassmen, Phantom, Bluecoats, Rhythm X, and then Johnson & Johnson. So why don't we just start by sharing Devon's kind of trajectory, what groups he's been with and marched with. And then we're going to ask some questions. So as you're watching, think of some questions that you want to ask Devon as we're going through this, okay, guys? So, Devon.
Yeah, so I started out, I've always loved watching drum corps videos and stuff like that, and so senior year of high school, I auditioned for the Glassmen, which is a drum corps out of Toledo, Ohio, and I got a contract with them, and so that was my first year ever in the drum corps world. So I loved my experience there, and they're unfortunately not operating anymore, but I was actually in their last year of existence, so that was a really cool experience. And then my second year was actually my first year meeting Huei here. It was at 2013 Phantom Regiment. I decided I wanted to move up into the world of top 12 drum corps, check out the scene, and so I showed up to, I believe it was a December camp. I couldn't even come to the first camp. I think I even showed up on a Sunday, and
I have a story about that later.
Yeah. So that was just an awesome experience. I really liked the way the staff was running things, and just a great experience. And so I was contracted, maybe that camp or the next one, I can't really remember. But yeah, so I did March 2013 Phantom, came back for a second year for 2014. Phantom Regiment.
And you were center snare both those years, right?
Yep. So was section leader of the drum line, and then 2015, this past summer, I aged out with the Bluecoats Drum and Bugle Corps out of Canton, Ohio. So, and that was my age out year. So I'm officially an old man now in the drum corps world. So
welcome to Dinosaur Land.
Yep.
You're officially extinct.
Yep. So, but it's still trying to keep the tabs on the drum corps world. So yeah, that's me.
How did you get into the indoor thing too? Right, because after Coats, you spent a winter with
Rhythm X. Yeah. So I had actually never done a WGI group at all. I had always seen it kind of as an infeasible thing, or unfeasible is the correct word, with doing drum corps, school, and all that stuff at the same time. So it didn't seem really possible at first, but then as I started getting more interested in Bluecoats and talking to the guys there, they told me about Rhythm X and the experiences they had, and so me and my friend Andy Brown, who I go to Michigan State with, we decided to come out. So we came out to an audition, absolutely loved it, like amazing staff, amazing members, and we were both contracted there, so that was an awesome thing for me and Andy, and we just had an awesome winter at X, just the best experience, and I can't really compare it to anything, but it was an awesome experience. So yep.
Are you guys fanning out here? Which groups are you guys aware of? How many of you guys have heard of Coats or Regiment or Rhythm X? Let's see some comments. Which groups are you guys fanning for? Just yes.
Yes.
What shows?
Okay, so 2012 was Glassworks, 13 was Triumphant Journey, 14 was Black Swan, 15 was Kinetic Noise. See RCC there?
Yeah.
X.
Yeah, guys, those of you who are tapping hearts right now, thank you very much. You know what Devon's talking about. Blue! And all the people that I've been talking about talking with on Instagram, and how many people are fanning over Bluecoats. Obviously, there's great things going on with that drum line right now, and when Devon was in it, of course.
Yep.
So
great experience.
We're gonna get into that a little bit, ask him some questions about drum corps. So, I guess the first question, Dev, that maybe you could share with everyone is just, how did you get into drum corps? Like, why did you get into it? And then what did you do to begin your journey? A lot of the people who are watching right now are thinking about getting into drum corps, want to audition, but maybe they don't know how to get started.
Yeah. So my brother actually marched Santa Clara Vanguard from 2002, I believe, to 2005, and so I was kind of inundated in that world. I was just a little, 12-year-old kid, kind of just following the world of drum corps around. And I just kind of idolized my brother. I thought it was so cool what he was doing. He was a bass drummer.
Tell him which year and what group he marched with.
So the one I'd like to advertise is the fact that he marched 2004 Vanguard, and they went undefeated in drums, and it was just an incredible year for that drum line. I always looked up to that drum line. It was just it was insane.
Yeah.
So,
and guys, if you don't know your drum corps history, you need to go back and check out 2004.
Yeah, look up 2004 Vanguard, and also check out my brother's bass drum I&E ensemble. Just look up 2004 SCV bass I&E. Incredible stuff.
Awesome. So you're a fanboy, you're following him around.
Yep, and so that and just that desire, to be in those groups grew, and I would watch drum corps videos and DVDs, and I guess going into a piece of advice for anyone who is starting to get into the world of drum corps and wondering if they should do it, just go to a camp. Just reach out and look into different groups that you think you might like, or ones that you have liked shows that you've watched. Just go to a camp. Just get the experience. You don't have to be ready to necessarily take a spot. I think my first camp was actually when I was about 15 years old or 16 years old. I think it was a Blue Stars camp, and I was definitely one of the weakest players there. I was a young guy, but I wanted to learn and wanted to get that experience. So, yep.
How did you choose which corps to go to?
I kind of based that, like I said, with the experience of the camps, and also the shows that I like. So, for example, with Phantom, for 2013, I had always loved Phantom shows, just the classical repertoire. And Spartacus, of course, I'm sure we all know that show. It's just an incredible show. So,
and guys, if you don't know these shows that Devon's mentioning as he's mentioning them, there's this thing called the internet, and then on the internet there's this thing called YouTube, and he should be watching these videos.
Yeah, go check these shows out if you haven't seen them. Like Spartacus, 2010 Phantom, Into the Light. That's probably still to this day my favorite show. Incredible drumline. So just seeing these shows kind of let me narrow down where I wanted to go, and then also, of course, location plays a big part. If you're 100 miles within your core, I mean, that's a great choice. Obviously, you don't want to be flying across the country necessarily all the time when you're just getting started out. I mean, you can do that if it's possible for you, but try to find some close by cores that have your interests that you might like, and just talk to the staff. See what you can do in terms of getting an audition packet, and just go for the experience. It's just a really great, the best decision I've ever made is to start early and just go to a bunch of camps. So,
how would you compare your experience when you were marching outdoor and transitioning for your last season for indoor?
I think it's a completely different experience. They're both really fun. It's just a completely different environment. So drum corps, you're doing a 12, 13-minute production, and you're working on that every day, all day for 3 months straight, and it gets very monotonous. And so it's more about the mental endurance and the physical endurance, of course, too. Whereas the WGI activity is obviously more broken up. You get to have a life outside of it, and then you get to come back for the weekend with a fresh perspective. And because of that, in WGI, you can do a lot more kind of innovative and riskier things, so that the books are usually a lot more demanding, a lot more challenging. The visual demand is insane sometimes. So you can just do some really cool stuff with WGI, and WGI requires that you have a little bit of expression and individuality, more so than drum corps, I'd say. But they're both great activities. And like I said, try to, if you're interested in either of them, try to go to camps, both WGI and DCI. So
awesome. So guys, if you're enjoying this content, make sure you let Devon know by tapping the hearts over here. If you're a first-time viewer, welcome. My name is Huei. We are in Los Angeles, California, and technically we're in Manhattan Beach right now. Hanging on the pier, enjoying some slushies, and talking some drum corps right now. So to give you guys, now that you know what Devon's done and some background, okay, so since this is Devon's Periscope, you see these hearts that are flowing up here. The replay is backwards, which is why I tap over here. But you can actually see the color of the heart correlates with the person. So each person gets a color as you're tapping. So right now, blue, green, gold, they're tapping their brains out, which is excellent. And usually what we do is we go back afterwards, we look at the replay, and we can see who's engaging, who's participating in the conversation. And guys, as we're talking about this, I want to encourage you to start thinking of some questions you want to ask Devon, because we'll open it up for some Q&A at the end. Okay, so now that you know what Devon has done, we'll talk about when I first met Devon, lessons that you can learn from being in drum corps, and then we'll spend the second half talking about what he's doing here in Los Angeles, because he's actually born in California, but he's here from Michigan, where he attended Michigan State, which we should probably talk about that at some point as well. Awesome. For sure. So, we were talking over lunch about the first camp that Devon came to at Regiment. You want to tell everyone about how, like, from your perspective, and then I'll tell you my perspective of when Devon first showed up.
Yeah, so I had a very interesting experience. Like I said before, I came a month late, didn't come to the first camp. I had something with school, and so of course I'm already worried. This is my first big boy drum corps camp, and I'm already late to the show.
Don't do that, by the way.
I've already, and it was like a Sunday afternoon. I walked in, had no idea what was going on, and then I think I actually started with like an individual audition right away with our caption head, and so that was a very interesting experience. I was just kind of thrown into it, and but it was a fun experience, and I went right back after the individual audition into the full line room, play with those guys, get a sense of the different exercises and approaches that Phantom uses. So yeah, it was an interesting experience, but it was a positive one. So. And
this is after you've already spent a summer marching with Glassmen.
Yes, correct.
So you know the drum corps drill, but this is like your first top 12.
Right. Yep.
Okay, so from my perspective, I'm sitting in the snare room listening to individual auditions all day, right? And that's all Saturday. I've been listening to these like high school, college age students come in. And one thing that you get really good at when you tech or teach drumline, especially at this level, is that you have to be able to look at someone and kind of sum them up very quickly. I think of it like you're the Terminator or RoboCop and you do a scan, you're like, you shoot posture, stick, grip, stroke, motion, touch, sound, and you're just kind of snapshotting them and capturing the strengths and weaknesses very quickly. And so I'm sitting in individual auditions, and then Sunday, Shane Gwaltney, who was the arranger at the time, walked in. He's like, "Wait, I just found the center snare for the drumline this song." And I'm like, "Okay, whoa, slow down, all right." It's like, let me see this guy. It's on Sunday. He's a month late. Who is this guy? Who does this guy think he is? So Devon comes in for his individual audition, and he starts playing, and I'm doing my scanning bit. I'm like, okay, posture's good, confidence, stroke, grip, good. By the time he finished his individual audition, I walked out. I was like, "Shane, we found our center snare. You were right." And so that was kind of the beginning of that. And as a rookie, that was an all-rookie snare line in 2013, which was, that's a whole nother animal as we get into that. But Devon walked in and he was center snare.
Yeah.
What does it take? This is a question for Devon, and we were talking about this over lunch also too, guys. Is over the years as I've been teaching drum lines, you see center snares, and you see center snares who are amazing at what they do, and you see center snares who are like, okay, like they're there just because they're the most qualified candidate. But I really think that the drummer who can be the guy in the middle, that person has to be the archetype member, player, person, etc., etc., etc. And over my career, I've seen just a handful of these guys who, like, you see them, you're like, yeah, that's it, they've got it. And Devon, I would place in that category as well. He's one of those archetype players and members in the group. So, I mean, let's hear from the man himself. What does it take to be a center snare? How did you become a person who is qualified to be a center snare? Dissertation on center snares. Go.
I think it's mostly just example setting. You just gotta always be thinking about the fact that you have multiple people looking towards you and basing their decisions and actions off of you, and so you have to have that kind of outside perspective to kind of, when things get rough or when tensions get raised, what are you going to look back from the situation and say, okay, what would be the right decision here? If I was to set an example, how would I want other people to act, not just let my emotions take over? And then also the other side of it is chemistry with the people around you. You got to know your members in your snare line, bass line, whatever it may be. You got to talk to your guys, and you got to definitely just know what their personalities are. Because if you understand their personality, you'll know how to work with them in the future. So it's ultimately just being a really emotionally invested person, so that you can get a sense for who your guys are. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the social aspect, I mean, that's one part.
That's huge.
That's usually like the second thing I think people think about, right? Because they think it's just about tapping
being
off.
the best player. Yeah.
But the social thing, that psychology and sociology aspect behind it is
absolutely.
Really
and honestly, I've talked to a lot of different guys who have been in different groups that are successful, and a lot of times the center snare is not the best player. I mean, there were guys on lines that I've been on that had way better chops than me. I mean, they could drum circles around me, but I mean, ultimately it's about do you have the full package of the leadership skills and the emotional skills, being able to communicate and bring people together.
being a drum corps guy?
Yeah, so this is something that I honestly was worried about a lot, and I thought about it and I said, well, am I going to be able to do this? Am I going to really be able to?
Sorry, is this a bad spot? Rest in peace. It's disconnecting. All right, let's move.
Oh, we gotta move.
Sorry, we'll move. It's back. Wait, is this in? Are you guys in or out? Give me a thumbs up or comments. Is this a good spot or a different spot? Yes, good. It's back. It's
Okay,
good. It's
we're
good.
good.
Okay, we in. All right. Cool. All right. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, so this was something I essentially worried about a lot before I even got into the drum corps kind of side of things. I was saying, okay, am I going to be a music major? Is this what I want to do? This with my brother, who was not a music major either. He did started out in chemical engineering, then went to mechanical engineering. He was all over the place, and he was able to do it. So that was kind of the motivation for me to say, okay, maybe this is something I could do. But a huge piece of advice I have, if you're looking into balancing a lot of schoolwork with drum corps, is you really just got to be a pro with being organized. Like, you gotta. I would set out my entire week. I would schedule every hour of every week, just because, I mean, that's really what it takes. You have to be able to just go to a weekend camp and give up that entire weekend. So no homework Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and you want to make sure you don't cut. You don't.
Sing. Damn. All right. Shot of the. All right, what's up, guys? We're back. Welcome, replay viewers. How's it going? Hello. C-Slay, Jacob, Shane Sadler, Casey. What's up, guys? Thanks for jumping in the broadcast. Those of you who are joining us for the first time, thank you for these incoming hearts as we're coming in. First-time viewers, welcome. Make sure that you guys swipe right and share this. Thank you very much. Share this as you're coming back in. And then also, if you're not following right now, you can swipe right as well. Make sure you hit follow so that you get more of these broadcasts as we're coming in. So, for those of you who are returning, thank you very much for joining us. Welcome. Happy Saturday. If you're a first-time viewer, thank you for joining. My name is Huei. We are in Manhattan Beach. Here with my friend Devon. Say what's up, Devon.
How's it going?
And we are doing a little Q&A with Devon here today. He's talking to us about what he's doing here in Los Angeles. Now, if you missed the first scope, to give you a quick recap, Glassmen, Regiment, Bluecoats, Rhythm X, Johnson & Johnson. What are all these things have in common? Mr. Devon Koning over here. Devon from Blue. Yes, Casey, make sure you check the replay out after this. But Devon marched Bluecoats. He talked about that a little bit. We're talking about Rhythm X. Now we're talking about what Devon is doing here in Los Angeles. As you can tell, we have a beautiful scenery behind us. You know, much love to all of our folks in the Midwest and East Coast. We are thinking about you, but, you know, we're hanging out with our sunglasses on over here. So, Devon, what brought you out to Los Angeles?
Yeah, so I accepted a internship offer with Johnson & Johnson under the Neutrogena branch, and I'm under their supply chain division. And so I was doing some career fairs back at Michigan State, and I just saw an opportunity to come out here to LA. And I was actually born up north in San Jose, California, so this was an awesome opportunity to kind of come back to my roots here. So, and I'm having a blast out here. So,
and so maybe one of the questions that viewers might have is, how do you balance drum corps life? You know, because like if you want to make a top 12 corps, you're practicing, you're doing your thing, you're going to school.
Yep.
How do you balance that with your other real life, which is going to school and majoring in something like business or engineering?
Yeah, so it all comes down to organization. You just got to be super organized about how you're going to go about your week. So like we were saying before, I live and die by my Google Calendar. I'm scheduling my entire week out, you know, on Sunday. I just kind of prioritize things and say, okay, what do I have to do to accomplish what I want to do? And, you know, at some point you're going to have to make some amount of sacrifice, you know, whether that's not doing all the things that you want to do, you know, that are outside of like school, drumming, work, whatever. You know, you're going to have to sacrifice some things, but I mean, ultimately that short-term discipline is going to give you long-term happiness in the end, you know, with getting into the group that you want to get into. So it's just all about organization and priorities. So
one thing that we used to do at Regiment when Devon was marching, drums over 02. I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
When we would have these video assignments over winter camps, so between the monthly camps, we'd have the guys submit videos, and it was always very telling when guys, you know, let's say that videos are due on Sunday night, and then you would get these frantic emails from guys at like 9 p.m. on Sunday. It's like, oh, Huei, I'm having trouble uploading my video, or, you know, I wasn't able to get into the band room to record. And, you know, without fail, Devon would always have his videos. And you could see that he didn't just kind of make it haphazardly with his phone. It's like, nice camera, the metronome's in the right spot, it's a good camera angle, you can see his feet, you can see his hands, and you can tell, I mean, like, would you do those in one take, or would you go through a couple iterations?
I go through iterations and then edit them together and stuff. So.
And make the best ones, right? Yep. And you're putting together, and that's something that doesn't happen on Sunday night, that happens as you plan starting from the previous Sunday.
Yep.
When are you going to do that? You know, so many videos of Devon would be in like the Michigan State drum room by himself, and I was like, that looks like a Wednesday evening, and he just finished going to classes all day, and now he's getting around to make his drum video, which isn't due for another 4 or 5 days. Super key. So, okay, so tell us about what your experience has been like in Los Angeles so far, working outside of...
It's pretty awesome. It's such a relaxed environment here, and Johnson & Johnson, their work culture is so relaxed, and it's kind of the opposite of what you would expect from just like a corporate, 9-to-5 job lifestyle. We do a lot of community service events out in the city, and just being able to come home to this like amazing weather and just being here is such a great atmosphere, and of course I'm getting as much time away from the terrible weather back in Michigan right now. So no hate on Michigan, just the weather. Don't really miss that too much.
So what do you think is going to happen with your drum life after? Is there life after drum corps? You're now marching indoor, you're marching outdoor, now you're working. Yeah. How do you see yourself staying involved with drumming?
Yeah, so I think that's going to be a constant uphill battle for me to stay involved, because obviously I'm aged out and I'm not going into the music major profession. I'm going into the business. So But I'm going to do everything I can, whether that's maybe, working with instructors, coming in for a weekend camp or something, or maybe working with a company that needs help on a product for like a practice pad company or a drum company. Any way that I can stay in that environment, because I'm already missing the drum corps atmosphere, to be honest. I just love being in that environment. So.
Yeah. Awesome. Hey guys, so I have an idea, and tell me what you think about that. I think we should have Devon come on and do a guest lesson on Sunday at some point. What do you guys think about that? Let me see some comments. It draws you back. Mark, absolutely right. Gridbook, Mark is on. Thanks for joining, guys. Travis K, yeah. All right, man. The people have spoken. Some social proof. So one of these days we'll look about bringing Devon on. Duh. Yes. We'll bring Devon on and have him give us a little demonstration of his skills in the shops. Now, you said you brought your pad and your sticks with you, right?
Not here, but I have them here.
Not here, but at your place.
I have them in LA, because here's the thing. I have a terrible fear of losing my chops, because obviously I'm not playing on my job. So I brought my smallest pad that I could take here with a pair of sticks. And every weekend I kind of go through just to keep my chops up, and it's fun too. I go through my warm-up routine, and then I play exercise we play at Bluecoats, the Vortex. It's just a great, fun piece to play, so I always play that a couple times. So, yep.
And you know what I'd be interested in asking Devon about, and we can do this in our future lesson, which is when I first saw Devon play, it wasn't like his massive amount of chops or his stick tricks that blew me away.
Taking a picture of us?
Yeah, sure. This guy's the best photographer in Los Angeles.
Oh my God, you are the LA photographer. No, I've heard.
Yeah. So this is what happens on Periscope. You get to take pictures of people.
Are we interrupting your
You're on a live stream, Periscope.
Hi.
You guys want to say hi? You guys want to introduce yourselves? Who are you?
Hi, I'm Erin. I'm Ia.
Jessica. And Jessica. All right, guys, let's see some hearts.
So many hearts.
Let's see some. Oh yeah, they're very confident. They're very humble as well, right?
1, 2, 3. Get it farther away. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, you want crouching down low too.
It's your birthday. Crouching? Okay.
It's your birthday?
Yeah, it's your birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Awesome.
All right. All right. Where should everyone find you if they want to contact you guys?
At Jessica Lifa.
Jessica Lifa. All right, you guys got it. Bye, guys. This is real life, guys. Real life in Manhattan.
We have real fan clubs. That's the fact. No, I'm just kidding. I have no idea who those people are.
Okay. All right. Back to what we were saying is what struck me most about Devon when he first started playing is when you watch Devon play, it's right. The rhythms that he's playing are right. The height, clarity is right. And my question for Devon would be how he got started doing that. What did his teachers teach him early on in the beginning? Because really it is about the basics, guys. And on Sundays when we spend our time doing lessons, those are about basics and not about your sticky, tricky flip, which is great. That's a cool part to learn. That's probably what makes it flash and fun for people to watch. But it is about basics. Okay.
Yeah. So when I started out, I had some great teachers. I had a teacher named Peter Thielen back in California. He was an orchestral timpani player, and so those guys are monsters. The ones that are the best of the best. They truly understand their instrument and what it takes to be successful at them. And you can't do too many things on timpani that are extremely flashy, so it is really all about the basics. And so I was taught by him to take things extremely slow and work them up fast. And never to start fast. And also one thing that he emphasized to me was staying on one thing at a time. So we would not move on. We would always have a weekly lesson, and he would give me a new thing to work on, and then if I didn't come back satisfactory the next week, he would make me review it. He would just write review. So I would go for a whole lesson, pay some of my parents' money for this lesson, and then he would just say, nope, go back home and work for another week. And that was fine because that was what I needed, I needed to truly commit to that one thing. So I guess a piece of advice I have is try to find ways to stay motivated, because sometimes practicing is just monotonous, it's unsexy, it's not what a lot of people make it out to be. It's a battle against yourself, psychologically, because you're going to want to quit. You're going to want to just say, oh, I'm just going to run this, I'm just going to run through something else or move on to the next thing. But don't move on until you truly master that one thing that you're trying to work on. So
awesome. So guys, you've heard it from Gridbook. Don't just go home and practice your sticky tricky and you're by yourself. You've heard it from me. You got to work on your basics. And And now you're hearing from someone who's actually doing it and is in it right now. So.
And one more thing, like a quote to kind of sum that up. I don't know who said this, but someone said, "Don't play when you practice, and don't practice when you play." So that's essentially saying when you're practicing, you shouldn't be playing things, full runs of just gimmicky, trick, rams, whatever. There's a time to do that. And then the other thing is, don't practice when you play. When you're playing, you're performing, So try to separate those two things. When you work, you work. And then when you perform, you're not thinking about it, the practicing. You already did that work, You don't have to worry about that. You just perform. So two separate entities.
So good. My God, there's so much good information coming out here, guys. Are you guys enjoying this? Is this good? Are you guys having a good time?
Deep. So deep.
Okay, guys, we're going to start walking back to the car now. And this has been lovely. I think we're...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You guys are enjoying this? Excellent. Okay, so I'll tell you what. Let's open it up for some Q&A, guys. We've got about, I'd say, like a 7-minute walk back to the car.
Yeah.
And we'll take some questions as we're heading out here. So what do you guys got? Those of you who are still tapping, hearts, thank you very much. We do appreciate that. And now we're going to receive some comments. Hopefully the reception is good as we continue to walk up the hill here. Do we have any questions from the viewer? I think you've blown everyone's brain away, Devon. They're starstruck. They don't know what to say at this point. My friend is trying out for snare. Any tips for him? Tips for playing fuller while being relaxed. Okay, tips for playing for your friend who's auditioning for snare. Submit that question because that's a long one.
Oh, yeah.
But how about let's take the 5-second, give you a shot of what's happened back here. We're in Manhattan Beach. How about playing fuller but staying relaxed? Because that's a big one that we talked about a little bit earlier.
Yeah, so something you can work on to just get like a fuller sound quality is do extremely basic things. So I like to do bucks, so an accent followed by a tap, and I just think about having super soft hands, something I know Huei would use at the Phantom cans. He would say, all right, everyone put your hand up 10 feet above the drum and then just drop it down like a dead fish, on top of the drum. That's the feeling you got to have in your hand. You got to have a super beefy accent, but it's not squeezed, it's not tight. So just make sure whatever you do, you always have a soft hands approach. It should feel good in the hand. So, and if you do that at the basic level, you'll be able to then add on more complex things to it.
Excellent. Rapid fire. More questions. I saw someone write, like, what do you mean by submit that question? Last week, because I've just been getting this, let me see where we are. We need to go that way. We've been getting this influx of questions over Instagram, which has been very flattering, but trying to keep track of this. Wait, once you get a second or third cam, how do you show them that they should want you? Okay, let's come back to that in a second. While Devon thinks of an answer for that, recently I added a form to my website, guys, which is Huei-Yuan.com. There's a link for that in my bio. You can also find me on Instagram at Huei-Yuan, Huei-Yuan. These replays, I think these have gone really well, so I'll probably re-record them and post them to my YouTube page where there are lessons and additional videos. You should check all that out. You can find all this on my website at Huei-Yuan.com. But there's a form on there that's called Ask Huei. Mark from the Gridbook series very aptly came through. Follow back though. Yeah, sure. And he very aptly hashtagged it Ask Huei. So as we do more of these questions, we'll hashtag Ask Huei. So that's where you can find that information. Okay, so the question was...
wow, I forgot the question now. Third camp, yeah.
Third camp.
Yeah, so the way that
how do you break through higher level?
The way that you convey that you're someone that they should keep around at the camp is you have the best attitude of everyone there. Essentially, an audition isn't just like a playing test. It's not like who's the best player. It's really who can they trust. They want to trust you every single day for 90 days to put, because when you're working on a 12-minute show every single day, the same thing, it's going to get monotonous and it's going to get annoying and tensions are going to get high. So they need the people who they need the people who are stone cold in the head. Like they're just so driven that nothing can stop them. Nothing bugs them or nothing gets them down. So just convey that to them, with your attitude. Be more prepared than anyone else. Know your music better than every single person there. You should have that as a goal for yourself, because you should just give them no question whether or not they should trust you, to bring you onto the team. So,
one piece of advice that my teacher gave me when I was coming out of high school and auditioning, and it seems so simple, but it makes perfect sense. He says, when you show up and you're playing the line, if you look like you belong in the line, that's one less person that the staff has to worry about as they're watching.
yeah. Yep.
So if you look like a vet, you play like a vet, you act like a vet, you've got the personality of a vet, then that's a big deal. All right, we're here. All right, guys, we've made it to the car. Jacob had a question about how to break through. Jacob's question was about how to break through to a higher level of drumming.
Yeah, so
you're like a high school kid or a college kid, you're doing pretty well, but you want to break through.
Yeah, so the best way to do that is to, one, have like consistent motivation. So, watch your favorite drum corps videos or go to clinics. The best thing you can do is just surround yourself with people that are better than you. When you're surrounded, and this isn't to sound arrogant or anything, but if you surround yourself with people who are on the exact same level as you or below you, you will never be motivated to raise out of that level. Whereas if you are surrounded by people who are way better than you, you're going to say, my life sucks, and I need to get better.
You need to level up here.
Yeah, so, if you're motivated to do that, you're going to find a way to get to that level. But until there's that sense of urgency, it's not likely to happen. So you just got to create that environment for yourself where you're being fed, videos and clinics and just being surrounded. Talk to your teachers. Have your teacher just play you their most impressive repertoire of something, and just be amazed by it, and just realize that that's possible for you, given that you put in the work necessary. So you just got to be constantly motivating yourself, because no one's going to do it for you. You have to self-motivate. Yep.
Dude, spot on. So Devon is not only a great center snare, but he's also a great Q&A answer too. So we're getting a new side of Devon. All right, guys, we're going to head out here. Those of you who are tapping your hearts still, we do appreciate that. Thank you very much. We're going to wrap up here in about the next 60 seconds. So if you have any outgoing hearts that you'd like to give, now would be the time to give it. Make sure that you swipe right to follow and share this with your friends so that they can share the replay as this goes out. If you want to find Devon and stalk him online, where should they find you, Dev?
Instagram is DK and then Koning, so DKKONING. And if any of you guys want to add me on Facebook or whatever, just Devon Koning, DEVONKONING.
Yep.
Yep.
And if you would like to see Devon on a future scope, maybe for a private lesson, a guest lesson session on Sundays, then make sure you put that out into the universe. Either tweet it, direct message it, put it in the comments here so that we can see it in the replay afterwards. And I think that's it. Follow, share this with your friends if they find this helpful. And I think, any parting questions?
That's it.
How about a question of the day? Do you have a question of the day for the viewers out here?
I do. So, ask yourself, while you are going about your day, think about who else in the world right now is doing the same thing you're doing, and if they're doing something differently, is it making them better while you stay the same? So, something that I've always resonated with is the notion that while you're just like kind of going about your day being lazy or playing video games or watching TV, someone out there is out to take your spot. Someone else out there is working harder than you. That's just fact, So just ask yourself that, as you go through the day, is there someone else out there that has more passion and more drive than you? Because if they do, then that's not helping you.